Well, we are seeing the fire danger rise again across East Tennessee. Fire crews battled dozens of wildfires last week. Some of those fires even forced surprise evacuations, and often the people serving on the front line of those firefights are volunteers.
10 News anchor Shay Smith is here to explain why volunteer firefighters are so important to our communities and to our safety. Shay.
That's right, Robin and John. Today I spoke to the chief of the Seymour Volunteer Fire Department, and he says volunteer firefighters are not only critical to East Tennessee, but also the entire state. That's because majority of fire stations in the state are volunteer fire stations. Chief John Linsenbigler has been the fire chief of the Seymour Volunteer Fire Department for about 5 years, but has been with the department for decades. The department covers 125 square miles in 3 counties. It has 6 fire stations and roughly 75 firefighters on its roster, and they are all volunteers.
Some agencies are struggling for volunteers because, hey, the economy's tight and trying to pay. But we're one of the larger volunteer fire departments in the state of Tennessee, both for the calls and the area we cover.
The chief says fire service is not considered an essential service here in Tennessee. He says there are almost 650 fire departments across the state, and 2/3 of them are volunteer fire departments. He says it can be easy to get people to volunteer, but sometimes getting them to stay is the task.
Someone like you would come in 2-3 years. You get your state fire certificate, your EMS license. Well, you're a commodity, and then you're off getting hired someplace.
The chief says he hopes that eventually the fire department can be a combination department, meaning there are staffed firefighters who are paid. But if people are looking to help out their local volunteer fire department, help is always appreciated.
501c3 non-for-profits like us is remember to support your local your local fire department. Volunteer, donate to them. If you live in an area that has subscription departments, support them. Hopefully you'll never need us, but it costs quite a bit to keep 27 pieces of equipment operational, 6 stations, and funding, and sadly only about 12% of the population donates.
Now, the chief and I drove by one area that had caught fire, and that was because someone was burning trash and wasn't watching over it. They stepped away. So the chief says if your county is allowing you to burn right now, make sure you are watching the fire at all times, and of course, do not be impaired.